Hey there, and welcome into another exciting episode of A for Effort. I'm your host, Matt, and as always, we start off giving thanks to our unofficial sponsor of the podcast, AMC A-List. $19.95 a month gets you 3 movies a week at local cinemas in your area. Check AMC.com for theater listings and offer availability. On today's episode, we're going to break down the newest version of The Grinch. I will admit, I am a huge fan of the original Grinch cartoon as well as the Jim Carrey version. So this version had a lot of expectations to live up to, and unfortunately, I just was a bit underwhelmed by this film. It's not that it wasn't good, and it's not that it was bad. It just was middling. It was not any different from any of the previous versions that I had seen. And something that really took me back while watching it was he's not very mean, and they're not scared of him like they were in Jim Carrey's version. So what is he doing? Like what makes him the Grinch in this movie? Yes, we have the misunderstood past that they built in the Jim Carrey version, that he was an orphan and they all made fun of him and that stuff. But what more is there to say about the Grinch? It was a half-an-hour cartoon special, and the original is brilliant, and this just tries to turn that half-an-hour animated feature into a hour and 20-minute full-length movie, and just falls short for me. It's not that it wasn't good, like I said, it's just middling, and it suffers from that. Benedict Cumberbatch stars as the Grinch. Cameron Seeley is Cindy Lou Who. Rashida Jones is Donna Who, her mom. Pharrell Williams narrates the film. Kenan Thompson, Tristan O'Hare, Angela Lansbury, they all have small roles to play in the film. And again, like I said, it's not that this was a bad movie. It was just didn't do anything different from the previous Grinch movies I had seen. And I know it's a Grinch movie for a new generation, but honestly, you could show a child the original Grinch cartoon and they would enjoy it. It's long lasting. It's one of those ones that could live forever. It's a classic, and this just didn't do anything special for me. My wife loved this movie. I was just kind of on it. It's not my favorite animated feature of the year so far. I got to see Wreck-It Ralph earlier this week, and that to me was so much better than this. Incredibles is better than this. You know, it's just unfortunate. Illumination has done some good things with Despicable Me, but they've kind of missed on their last couple animated films, personally. Illumination started with Despicable Me, then made Despicable Me 2, then the Minions movie, then The Secret Life of Pets, and now The Grinch. I'm just not a fan of those last 3. Minions, Secret Life of Pets, and now The Grinch struggled for me. This is Steve Carell's animation studio, and I loved Despicable Me 1 and 2. I haven't had a chance to see Despicable Me 3 yet, but it's just lackluster. It's not what I expect from Steve Carell, who killed it with the original 2 Despicable Me movies, and his animation studio is just making lackluster films. I'm not a fan of The Secret Life of Pets. I thought that would be hilarious, and it wasn't. It was a completely different movie than I ever expected it to be. Kevin Hart's character in that movie was too over the top, but it's an animated movie and kids love it. We're getting a second Secret Life of Pets. They also made Sing, which wasn't what I wanted it to be either. Illumination has a lot of catching up to do if they're going to catch DreamWorks and Pixar and Disney Animation. With that said, The Grinch gets just an A for effort. It's middling, so it gets a middling score. Unfortunately, it was middle of the road, and I just wish it had a little bit more depth and a little bit more heart than it actually did. One of the only characters in the film that you could feel for and have an emotional connection to and actually enjoy what you're seeing was Max, the dog. And that was great because Max was actually a character in this movie, and Max kind of plays a back seat in the original as well as the Jim Carrey version, but in this he was a full-on character, and I really enjoyed Max. Again, an A for effort. Not exactly what I was hoping for from a Grinch movie, but I have been your host, Matt. Check out the other 51 episodes on our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Let me know how I'm doing on these reviews. We're coming up to the end of the year, so an end-of-year recap will be coming, our awards, as well as top 10. Come back to us next time on another episode of A for Effort, when we will have another quality movie review.